Hey everybody, what you up to? I was sitting back, heading to the driving range here to embarrass myself some more. But I was sitting back trying to think of videos to do and uh, stuff that kind of no one ever really, I guess, talks about much, or if they do, I've not seen too much of it. Um, the fact of that we run into some of these issues out to our track, and I would guess a lot of the other tracks have the same issues too. Um, this might be like a two-parter setup, um, just due to uh, there's a few multiple issues, I think, and one of them that we run into. First one is, I don't get into this one too much myself, but we see it a lot. People got to realize, and I get this, is racing is a intense and like adrenaline pumping sport. You kind of get passionate about it, but guys, we're out here racing for 60, 70 bucks maybe on good nights, something like that. You might get some that's like a $30, $40 night, or heck, it might even be big money show some night for us. But it's goat karting, guys. We're not out here to make a living off this stuff. If you believe you're going to, then you got to get into a different sport. You guys get out there, and I've been out there, something happens, somebody get into, you get ticked off, you get mad, and you want to say something. And like I say, I've been guilty of it. Not much this year, last year a few times, but you guys got to realize this is a hobby. We're not making money off of this. We are out there for fun. I've seen this more this year than anything else, that people will get out, or I'll be sitting on the grid getting ready to take off, and we got to stop and wait because the group ahead of us, people are getting into it right out off the track, and we got to wait for them to get done going at it because they're wanting to beat the crap out of each other. Guys, you got to think, you got small kids out to the track, you got kids just starting to learn. I mean, this goes towards the parents too, because I've seen this plenty of times. Is we'll have the kid kart class out there, pre-rookies or something like that, and these kids are just learning how to drive. You got to give a little bit of leeway for these guys, these kids and stuff. They'll get into each other. They're just learning. Parents will be in the back screaming, yelling at each other. We've seen it where kids will come in, kind of shaking each other's hands and apologizing for getting into each other, while the parents are sitting there screaming at each other. Guys, we're not going to be, especially as adults, we got to realize that in our classes, we're not in the next Dale Earnhardt. We're not Larson. We're not any of these guys. We're here for fun. And I think a lot of people forgot that. That's what you got into this for, was to have fun. And you guys, you got to learn to let stuff go. And I was not say per se guilty of it this week. I was more mad at myself than anything else. When I got tangled up. But it is what it is, people. It is what it is. You just learn from it. You learn from your mistake. You learn from stuff going on. You remember how certain people drive, and you just got to be a little bit more cautious sometimes. But in the long run, guys, we can't just be sitting there pissed off screaming at every single fucking person that walks around the building. Because something didn't go your way, or they may make a bad call. It's just, I mean, it's like any other sport out there. Referees make bad calls. I mean, track officials could make bad calls too. They didn't see something. It is what it is. Just keep on moving. Sitting there arguing with them isn't going to get you nowhere. Actually, it's probably going to do worse for you. The better you are, the nicer you are to your track officials and stuff like that. Even if they do take you off, he goes, just let it go. Better you are to them, they might let stuff slide a little bit more with you. But sitting there arguing with them, screaming at them, especially when you got kids around and stuff like that, guys, we got to do better. It'll make a night go faster, make your day go funner if you don't sit there and let it get into you every single time. So that's going to be the first part of this thing. Second part is I'm more guilty of the second part. And we just got to do a little bit better, go from there. So we'll work on it. I know everybody needs to. So stick around for part 2, and I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go embarrass myself at a driving range. See ya.